We are going to keep the door very much. Yeah. Oh, I just need to get my iPhone out at the time. It's squabbling on. I'm on there just looking to run out of time. Oh, Matt, that's really nice surprise. Is that feedback? It's not you, is it?
Good evening. I can't tell you how excited I am to be here today. And that's because I'm not pitching. Although I'd like the opportunity to pitch, but I'm not sure that'd be the right thing. So, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm Simon Shaversky. I'm the lead officer at Torbay Community Development Trust, and we're here to help you develop more amazing things in the community in Torbay. So that's why I'm so excited that actually we've got this event here in Torbay. Jenny, local fundraising officer from Lottery, who should take huge credit for actually encouraging Big Lottery Fund to try this for the second time only in the country in Torbay tonight. So that, I've got this little shiver going now, so I'm so excited. Brilliant. And brilliant for all of you for bravely putting yourselves into this process and just enjoy it. Whatever the outcome at the end of it, enjoy it, and whatever happens, we'll work with you to find ways to support your cause, whatever it be. That's what we're here for, Torbay Community Development Trust. So welcome to the Big Lottery Fund, Jenny, colleague over here, Catherine. We've even got a lady, I can't remember her name, who's come over from Belfast to see what we're doing here in Torbay, to take it back to Belfast to try it there. So it's not just Torbay, it's international now. You started here in Torbay, almost. So it's a great pleasure. I want to introduce the panellists this evening. The first one is Matt Kelly, who's from Big Lottery Central Command in Birmingham. He's come all the way from Birmingham today, and he's one of the panellists. Robert Excel, portfolio lead at Torbay Council for communities, safer communities, transport, parking. Let's not talk about parking. None of that here tonight, thank you. You can say that for the next council meeting. Oh, and the environment as well. Jim Parker, editor of the Herald Express, and also I should mention that both Robert and Jim are also trustees of the organisation. And last but not least, the MP, Kevin Foster. So, I think, is it fair to say, Kevin, that you've got your own grant fund as well? And you might want to say something about that if there's a moment later on. Just to explain, and maybe it's useful learning about this is a good way of really encouraging lots of community-led action and then supporting it through the grant fund. And Jenny's looking at me, which I think means it's time for me to wrap up and pass on to Jenny, who's going to explain the order of proceedings. So enjoy yourselves, all the best of luck to the pictures, and whatever happens, we support you with whatever happens next.
Brilliant, thanks Simon. Simon's excited, so am I. I've waited 4 years to get an event like this off the ground. So really, really excited that the Big Lottery Fund allowed us to use the proceeds from the National Lottery ticket sales. And of course it's their good causes money that gives the income for the lottery distributors, like Big Lottery Fund, to hand out to communities and the groups that are represented in the room today. So I'm so excited. You can probably tell. First of all, I just want to make sure that you've all got a ballot card. Now the ballot card's really, really important because yes, this is the second time a picture project has happened giving cash, but this is actually the first time that we've invited the community in to vote. So it's your decision tonight as to which of the 14 groups that pitch will eventually receive their share of the £70,000 that we've got available tonight. So it's a test and learn. So you are our guinea pigs. I hate to call you that, but you are. So there are some extra questions on there. So for example, we did sort of test your understanding when you came in through the door. You put a cross as to how well you felt you understood the proceeds and our grant money is distributed across the day. And we'll also ask you your opinion when you leave. But equally, you've got an opportunity on your ballot card to make some notes. For example, before you even hear the pitches, you can tick 4 that you thought you were going to support before you heard them speak. We also have a place for you to write the most appealing aspects about what the groups have told you tonight, or any feedback that you think the picture would benefit from hearing. That will remain anonymous. It won't be shared with anybody. It will just be kept by the Big Lottery Fund. Now there are 2 pages to it, and you can detach it because it's the ballot that we want, and it's your ballot and the crosses in the grey boxes that are really important, and it's important to understand the rules. Every picture has 5 minutes, and boy, I'm tough. I will have to cut you off at 5 minutes because we've got a lot to get through this evening, and to be fair to every group. After each 5 minutes, there will be an opportunity for a member of the panel to ask that group some questions that they think, for you in the audience, will give you some insight and aid you with your voting tonight. Okay? So the pictures and the panel will be part of that question and answer, and the panel will be asking those questions on your behalf. So after all of the pictures have happened, we'll have a short comfort break. Your ballot cards to be handed to the staff where you signed in as soon as you've made your 4 votes. That's really important. Tonight you'll be voting for 4. It can be the organisation that you represent. So the organisation has had 2 tickets to the event. Councillor Excel, Jim and Kevin will be voting because they are members of the Torbay community too and represent their members. And the people that won't be voting tonight are the Big Lottery Fund staff and Torbay Community Development Trust staff. So it'll be the community invites and the groups that are pitching tonight. If you have to vote for 4, so it'll be important that you listen to all of the pitches well. You cannot vote for less than 4 and you cannot vote for more than 4, otherwise the ballot card will be invalid. So, on with the show. So, if anybody hasn't got a ballot card, can you put your hand up now? Because we do have some people here that can hand those out. So, it looks okay, it looks like everybody's got the ballot card. Sorry, we need 1 for Jim and 1 for Kevin. And then Councillor Excel, many apologies. Okay, so straight into pitch number 1, we have Torbay Bravo Group. So would Torbay Bravo like to come forward?
I hope it's all right. So my name is Ron Sukumar. I'm the coordinator for the Torbay Bravo Help and Hope groups. This is a mental health care and social support group. The rationale for these groups is that it's mutual help from service users.
Sorry, can't hear Ron.
I do want to use it. So the rationale for these groups is that social support and peer support within specialist mental health is sadly lacking in the community across the whole community. So these building up people's confidence and improving social networks helps a lot improving quality of life and moves them forward in life. And qualities are something that's missing sadly in lots of mental health service users and their families. The groups are open to anyone affected by serious mental illness, their families, supporters and friends. We have bases in Torquay, Paynton and potentially Brixton as well. We use community resources, libraries, cottage cafe offices opposite the library in Torquay. And background to this is that we had a population of Torbay is currently about 133,000. It is one of the 10 most deprived areas in the country. And against that, Torquay Waverley closed in the last 2 years, community mental health teams. And the Cool House, which is based in Torquay for 10 years, closed 2 years ago. A lot of the evidence, both professional, academic and anecdotal, and based on my own experience in mental health for 35 years, shows that these small social groups have a massive effect on improving people's quality of life and social networks, as I've said, because loneliness kills, it's a fact. A quote by someone called Yannick, or Granny, I'll get someone to name later, shows that it actually does more than alcohol, more than drugs, more than most addictions in our experience. And what we're trying to say is that invest in us in the community, in community resilience, based on Torbay's corporate and the local action plan for the next 5 years from 2015 to 2019. So you're investing in people as well, and the reduction in cost in terms of inpatient admissions, it costs between 1,500 and 2,000 a week at Torbay, I believe, around about that. And less reliance on specialist support workers to take you shopping or have a coffee with you and have a chat. It's not really that beneficial over the long term, costs a lot. If we add that up with less reduction on medication, it makes complete economic sense in our view. And you're investing in the community and us, and lives change, and it gives us hope. The hope part is that hope is the one emotion that's more powerful than fear. And with hope, we can all move forward in our lives and against the backdrop of everything happening locally and internationally and nationally, which is something that we all need in our lives. And thank you for listening to me, and I hope you feel that investing in people and community resilience, and satisfying all the local targeted actions through Torbay is worth supporting tonight. Thank you.
Well, thanks for the presentation, Ron. It's always hard to be
first, so well done for the presentation you've just given. Just a couple of quick questions from me. Just to clarify, in terms of the activities, do you plan to charge any of those who are attending them?
No.
So it'd be free for the activities involved in. You talk about spending 450 quid on public transport. Could you just explain briefly what that's about?
It's lots of people are on basic benefits. Some are enhanced benefits. So
Right, just make a suggestion. Can you just stand up at the front, just so it's easy for people to hear you if you're...
It's 450, it's probably more than that. It's spread over a year. So if you say that lots of people, sadly, in the various areas, so bricks and painting and Torquay don't go outside their own area. The idea of hand floating bases is that we can move seamlessly between the areas. And experience our beautiful bay. I've been here 18 years and it beats London by a long way. So, one of the biggest obstacles for them not doing that is the lack of companionship or people to go with, one, and two is the cost. And if by building their confidence, restoring self-worth and self-confidence, and a sense of self-respect as well, you're allowing them to do that. And that's based on like a 3 Torbay day riders a week over all the groups in Torbay.
Okay. And in your presentation, one of the most, probably if I speak without the mic, you can answer with the mic. The most powerful point you made in your presentation, how learning skills. Now, I know that you've got the Aging Well project, which is helping those aged over 50 and 60 about everything. How do you see this project working alongside that, or which partners, who do you think will be working with in delivering this project?
Everyone, this is a community-wide project. The fact is that, you know, we in mental health feel that we're slightly still socially excluded, still on the margins of mainstream community. The idea is to, by demystifying mental illness, by people building and rebuilding their confidence and sense of identity, we're seen as one community, and therefore linking with everyone else. And 18, well, we're all getting older. I'm 56, you know, and you know, so we will. The aim is, you know, the history in this part of Torbay is that we've been involved with all the agencies through Cool and Previous Incarnations and Cultivate Waverley, and linking in with all of those right across the age barrier. So we will enhance and complement it as well. So lots of our members are, you know, teenagers, young people, and over 65, 70.
Well, that's enough questions from me, so thank you, Ron.
Thank you. Oops, just forgot to say, if the fire alarm goes off, it's real. So your fire exit is through the doorway you came in, and where if you just chase Simon as he goes running out of the other fire exit, and we congregate over by the snooker hall on the other side of the road. If you're desperate for the loo, there is 1 ladies and 4 gentlemen cubicles. Not fair. However, I have discovered there are 2 additional ladies' toilets. Just if you take a left turn through the 2 named rooms on your left, and there is a disabled toilet as well. So apologies for not mentioning that. Also, hashtag PYP Torbay. If there are any tweeters in the room, that's Picture Project Torbay, PYP Torbay. So if you do want to tweet about anything exciting that's happened tonight, you know, feel free to use that hashtag. And we have got some live streaming, courtesy of Matt in the corner. I don't know what that means, so if you want to find out more, ask Matt. But that will be posted on the Torbay Community Development Trust web pages. So if you want to see yourself on film, that's absolutely fine. If you don't, can you just let Matt know so he doesn't do any close-up shots, etc. So apologies about those few housekeeping things. So, well done Torbay Bravo, it's always hard going first, but I'd now like to welcome to the stage Humanity Torbay, helping Humanity Torbay set up home.
Hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ellie Waugh, and I am the chairman of Humanity Torbay. We haven't been going very long. We are a homeless charity, and we deal with people who are homeless and vulnerable. And we also deal with people who've got lots of other problems besides. We have literally housed over 185 people in the past few months. We've also managed to get people into jobs, just over 65, and we've managed to get people onto training programmes as well. As you can tell, I'm very nervous, so I do apologise. At the end of the day, we absolutely love our homeless guys. We've been given a base in Torquay, free of charge, and we have absolutely no funding whatsoever. We're run by volunteers. There's nearly 20 of us, and we have, I think, £300 in the bank. Everything we do is with love and passion, and we adore our guys and we adore our ladies, and they mean the world to us. We've had 4 in the past few months who tried to kill themselves, and we just won't let that happen anymore. So we've managed to get them in-house, we've managed to get them into jobs. It's a very, very, very difficult task, and we're just very ordinary volunteers and very ordinary people. We've done a leaflet for you so you know who we are. We are desperate for a kitchen. We've got absolutely nothing to cook on. We're seeing between 30 and 60 guys at each session that we do. In 2 weeks' time, we'll be open 6 days a week, and we'll be open up till 10 o'clock in the evening. We've got no kitchen. I think we've got 2 rings, if I'm right, ladies. Am I right on that? And we've also got no shower facilities either. So the money that you help give us tonight will go towards that. 42% of homeless people have got no facilities at all. They've got no access whatsoever to food, to clean clothes, and to having a shower. So this is why we need your help. We've got Greg here. Greg won't mind me saying, we pulled Greg out of a shed 3 weeks ago. He'd been homeless for 10 days. We've got him somewhere to live. We've also had guys who've been in dustbins, and we've got them somewhere to live as well. I'm absolutely passionate. I love all our guys, and you know, I could just cry. Today I've been at the hospital as well. I've had another one. I'm next of kin to 52 of them, and also I'm in the process of adopting one of the guys whose life I saved last year when he tried to commit suicide because he didn't want to go back on the streets. The streets is a really, really hard place. At the moment, our biggest fear is we've got a huge amount of 18 to 30-year-olds, and we're really concerned about this at the moment. And we've also seen a huge rise in the over 50s. Not only do we help them to get jobs, we fill in benefits for them. We've done just over 1,000 ESA forms and PIPs, and we've not lost one yet. We also have an advocacy service where we go to the courts to help people. And my dear Carolyn over there goes and visits everybody who's in hospital, who's homeless or vulnerable. We're desperate. I don't really know what to say, to be honest. I just thought I'm going to cry. We really do need this money. If we've not got this money, then we won't be able to operate. And we really, really need a kitchen. And, you know, they said to us yesterday, we had 4 of them asleep on sofas because they're so frightened to go out actually and sleep anywhere because they get attacked, they have bleach thrown at them, they have their heads kicked in. And they said to us, we're so glad you're here, and we're really glad we're here as well. And it would really make the difference to these people's lives if you could help. I don't really know what else to say, to be honest. I think I've covered it all. We really, really, really do need your help and support. These guys really need your help and support as well. We really want to get everybody off the streets. That's our mission. Everybody in homes and everybody in jobs as well. We also lots of people who come in to see us with mental health. Other organisations are referring people to us as well. And it is a really, really, really wonderful thing to be able to watch somebody walk through a front door and they've got a home, some of them for the first time in years. So thank you very, very much, and thank you.
Thank you for that. And it seems like you've done a lot of really good work in a very short space of time that you've been going. Could you just give me some insight into how the project fits into the wider work that's taking place in Torbay to support people who are homeless?
what we're doing is we are working with agencies. We're also providing referrals for community larder as well, so people can have food parcels. And we're also working with Mags, and we've also engaged with towns as well. We have lots of help from lots of people. We are doing the best we can. We are absolutely passionate about getting people off the streets. We want people to be housed. We don't want people in doorways anymore. This is 2017. This should not be happening. You know, this is not right at all. We will support anybody. I mean, we give people, as our ladies and gents will say, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh chances, because everybody deserves a chance in life. And somebody actually said to me the other day, it is not, you know, it's not a crime to be homeless, it's not a crime to be poor, it's not a crime to be cold or hungry, but it's a bloody crime if you don't help them. It really is a crime. And, you know, and that's, I'm sorry, I'm really passionate about it. I really care about these guys and I love them to pieces.
That's great. In terms of the actual property itself, how long have you got that secured?
We've got it, the gentleman's giving it to us for the next 5 years.
Wow, okay, so
And
it's a long term.
we've actually been given 5 other bases as well that we're working on, that other people have want to give us in Paynton, Brixton, Newton Abbot and in Kingsbridge as well.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, cheers.
Lovely to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you to Humanity Torbay. And coming up next, I believe we have got the Friends of Fort Apache, the Fort Apache Design and Build. So I'd like to welcome you to the stage.
I was told we had a lectern. You can use it. I'll speak like this. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for having us, and thank you for shortlisting us, and thank you to the panel for that too. Thank you. So, my name is Carmen Silva, and I'm here representing the Friends of Fort Apache. I wasn't supposed to be here. A lovely lady from Hill community, who was an absolute force to be reckoned with, called Maureen Giffard, who probably some of you remember her. She was supposed to be here, but unfortunately, and very suddenly and very unexpectedly, she was taken away from us. So I hope I do her justice in filling her shoes with my very ample size 8s. I hope what I'm saying will fit the size 8 as well. So this one's for Maureen. So Friends of Fort Apache support an adventure playground in Hill called Fort Apache. That adventure playground was based right next to the Windmill Centre in Hill. I won't bore you with statistics. We know what Hill is like. We know how deprived it is. We know how hungry the children are there. We know how much the children there sometimes don't really have much to do aside from either Fort Apache or going to the Windmill Centre. And it's a really, really difficult area that we really would like to support. We are based, the playground is based on play. And play is a right of the child. It's in the Convention of the Rights of the Child, Article 31, if anybody wants to look it up. But it's something that the children have a right to, and it makes them socialise, it develops them, it gives them friends, it gives them something to do, it gives them a course it just gives them a direction, and it's just so vital for their development. And here, right next to me, I've got one of the children, no longer child, who used to come to Fort Apache. This is Jamie, and Jamie, you are how old now?
I'm 16. I've been going to Fort Apache since I was 7 years old. And when I started, I was, being bullied. I was really emotionally distraught. My mum and dad had a divorce. So I was going through a very, very emotional time. And then I found the playground when it first started. And it was there for me. And it was just a godsend into what I needed, and it was just basically perfect for me. All the projects they did, all the things, it got me out of the house, it got me actually socialising with people my own age, and even just basically being there for me to help me through troublesome times. And it was just best thing that could have happened to me at that point in time.
So, Torquay helped not only Jamie, but loads of other children. However, things changed drastically in the past year or so. And from the nice pictures that you see here, because it was such a magical place, a bit of woods, if you can picture yourself in it, in the middle of loads of houses with nothing, you couldn't see the houses when you were in the woods, and it was magical. The children built dens, cooked from scratch. It was amazing. Unfortunately, this started happening at Torquay, and everything that you saw before were structures that the children helped build and paint. The staff and the children are heartbroken to see this time after time after time. And of course, this is what's at Torquay now. This is it. Fortunately, we managed to speak to the Torquay Academy, and they've let us, together with Gardens and Greens from Hill Village, share their space there. So now, we have got this space right next to, which is enclosed and it's secure, so there won't be needles there won't be broken glass. We very much hope and doubt that anybody will torch anything at this new space. We had an opening day with over nearly 150 people there, and it was awesome. And we want to make this place magic, like Torquay was magic for so many hundreds of children who are now play rangers with us, like Jamie is, who are now in course for employment opportunities. So I feel a bit like I'm in Dragon's Den here, but I'm pitching for £3,245. What will that do? That will help us start building. As you can see, there's nothing here. We've got there's a portaloo, but I don't think we've got the money to have it. I spare the details, but it can't be used. So we need to build somewhere where we can store everything, the equipment for the children. The children are hungry. We need to cook for them. There's a space where they can grow their own food. And on that note, there's my thing. I'll show you
sorry,
this.
Carmen, I'm going to have to stop you there.
Oh, right.
I'm afraid not.
No,
But there is a couple of minutes for questions.
I'm very lucky really because it's my patch, and so I do know what's happened over the year. I remember patch number 1. I remember when I first became a councillor what the state of the area was like. When the board actually came up and gave the kids something else to do rather than sit in front of TVs or sit in front of Xboxes and one thing or another. And once they got out, they started mingling with the other children, started playing like real children in the woods. It was great. It was unfortunate that we did have some wayward children set fire to it, one thing or another. The idea of joining a school is good because it will be monitored, it will be made safer, so less likely to be vandalised, so I welcome that. But what I would like to know is, there's going to be design in the field. What do you see, or how do you see any credibility or the accreditation coming from that for the design and build?
Right. So
for the adults and the children, of course.
yeah. So it's not just, the money is not just to get somebody in to build it and then leave them and go. It's also mainly yet another opportunity that the children and the people in the local community have to join in and actually learn how to design, learn how to build, and give them extra skills. We're absolutely passionate on skilling up the local community, getting them involved, giving them the sense of ownership. This is not for us. This is for them. It's for generations to come. This is for children who, believe it or not, we all know what this is, right? When we pick this up to cook from scratch, the children say, "What's that, miss?" And when I said, "It's carrots," like bewildered, and they said, "No, it's not. Carrots are round and flat." So they only know slices of carrots out of a tin, which is better than Haribo's, I suppose, but still, you've got to get them involved to do all this, and so it's all about teaching them in a really playful way and giving them the skills to move on and own the place and make it their own. And
Keep the mic, because I use my voice. Cool. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Right. The other thing what concerns me is that it is actually going on a school site, and what I would like to know is how you are going to work with the school to monitor it when the school's not open. How's it going to be managed? Because if it's left without any management whatsoever, we could have the same again before Patchy 1. So are you going to put CCTV up there? Or?
So for the Patchy 2 has got, we like to work in partnership. So we are in partnership with not just the school. So during school time we know there's people there, but also Gardens and Greens from Hills Angels. So they have patches of where they grow stuff. So there's volunteers there, allotments. Yes. Thank you, Jamie, and for it. So they're constantly there. CCTV is absolutely a possibility, but again, it's whether the friends can get enough money to do that. But that's absolutely a possibility. There's 9 other organisations involved in this. We're all working together. So hopefully,
I'm afraid I'm going to have to stop Carmen there, I'm afraid.
I would like to thank you very much for your
Thank you. So, moving swiftly on, we are moving on to Ellacoombe Community Partnership and their pitch for Ellacoombe Together. Welcome, Sarah.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sarah O'Connor, and I am the coordinator of the Ellacoombe Community Partnership. Before I start, I would just like to say thank you very much for listening to our speech this evening. The Ellacoombe Community Partnership has been established for over 10 years, and we run a community centre in Market Street. And this offers a safe space for the residents of Ellacoombe to actively engage in activities, to seek help and advice on a range of issues which affect their everyday lives, and it allows residents to come together and to form friendships with other members of the local community. For those of you that don't know, Ellacoombe is statistically one of the most deprived areas of Torbay and is also listed as one of the top 10 most deprived areas in the whole of England. Today, we're asking for your help with a project which is called Ellacoombe Together. We are asking for £7,490 to enable us to deliver the following specific projects in the Ellacoombe area. In consultation with our local residents, we've identified the need for weekly health and wellbeing sessions, a monthly book and reading club, monthly guided walks, short and long walks depending on people's ability but accessible to all, a weekly board games club, a family weekly swimming club, weekly basic computer classes and one-to-one literacy help for those people that need it. We would also like to reach out to the growing number of Polish people who are moving to the area to enable them to integrate more confidently with the rest of the community. Now, all of our activities are provided for free, but we will target them towards everyone who may be able to benefit from this project, but we hope to reach about 500 members of the local community with this money. Teaching local residents new skills and enabling them to lead healthier lives is the main purpose of our project. We are also asking for your help with a pilot youth project. The partnership is the only employer of youth workers in the Ellacoombe area, and we currently run free sports and activity sessions for young people aged 6 to 18 in the local park and in the local children's centre. The young girls that we work with have asked if they may form their own club, and they want to call it NBA, which stands for No Boys Allowed. This girls group will be for young women in Year 9 and above and will be run as an informal cafe session in Ellacoombe. It will address personal, social and health education issues and will be designed to promote self-confidence, self-esteem and emotional development, all in the safe space that we provide for them. It will also allow open and honest dialogue around some of the more challenging and difficult issues which young girls tend to face today, which include sexual grooming and exploitation, teenage pregnancies and cyberbullying, which we all know goes on. Alongside this work, we will create fun activities aimed at a young female target audience so that the sessions are inviting and fun, but also provide help where it is needed towards working towards a healthier and enlightened young female population. With your funding, we expect to be able to reach between 100 and 150 local young women and provide them with a much needed service. Can I just ask how many people here have ever lived in the Ellicombe area? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you know it quite well. For the others of you that don't, I've lived in Ellicombe for about 30 years and I know the community really well. And they are a great bunch of people. I wish I could have brought some with me tonight to meet you. It could be a colourful bunch sometimes. But they're also a warm and vibrant and supportive community. And they want to take pride in their community, and that's what the Ellicombe Community Partnership does. It enables them and helps them to take pride in their community. And while I couldn't bring them with me tonight, I have a message from 2 of our regular visitors, 2 ladies of a certain age who take part in our activities. Andrea wished me to tell you that the centre is a lifeline for her. She said it gives her a reason to get out of the house, to walk down the road, and to make herself feel useful, and it's giving her her confidence back. Maddie asked me to tell you that she visits the centre every day because, and I quote, just because we are old doesn't mean we shouldn't have a purpose in life. Now these are real people. These are real women that I know and they represent a real community. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, this community needs your help. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. I've all been gobsmacked with the project so far tonight, and this is one really sensational stuff. Just got questions. Part of your project is to expand to offer girls special sports services with complex issues. Are you partnering with other people with that, or are you able to deal with that?
Yes, we work currently with the Children's Centre in Ellicombe, who kindly provide us with a free space for our youth sessions that we run at the moment. We've just started a partnership with Ellicombe School. They've invited us to go and make a presentation at their assembly coming up. So the entire Ellicombe community, in terms of the young people at the school and the families, will know about the work that we're doing. Because our work is free, we hope to engage as many people as possible in that project. Our youth workers also work on an outreach basis, so they go to the park twice a week, they'll stay in the park, they engage with the kids, they talk to them about what's happening, and the kids tell us what they want to do as well. And a lot of what we do for them, a lot of the projects and the activities we base for them are built on their ideas.
Terrific. And your activities, there are loads that you're offering and already offer now. You say they're free? All of them free?
All of them are free.
Even swimming lessons, everything's free?
Yes, we will subsidise the swimming lessons with this money here. It's for families that at the moment can't afford to take their kids to the swimming pool. Ellicombe is a very deprived area. There isn't much money. There isn't anything for anybody to do. There's a pub. There's a park that's just lost its swings and the council aren't putting the swings back in. There's an Undertakers and there's 2 corner shops. I think that's about it in Ellicombe. There's nothing for people to do. And so much of the Ellicombe population lives in rented accommodation, is on very low incomes, and they have kids and they can't afford to do anything with them. So what the Ellicombe Community Partnership does is provide activities for those people that can't afford to travel around the bay or that can't afford to go and pay for it elsewhere, and it's a much needed service.
Terrific. And just one last thing. Again, all this, your baggage is really good. How are you going to promote that to the locals to get them on board?
We are going to do it through the school. We're doing a leaflet this summer. So this summer in the park, we're providing free activities to the kids every afternoon in the park. When we engage with those families, we'll be telling them also about what we're doing in September. So we'll have leaflets. We'll distribute it as much as we can through other agencies as well, through the school and through the outreach work that we do in the park with the families.
Terrific. I wish you all the best, and we can help.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sarah. Next, we have Grounded with the Grounded project.
I'll try without the microphone. Does it sound as if you can hear me? Yeah. Okay, so my name's Anthony Carroll. I represent the Grounded project. Grounded works with people who are in drug and alcohol recovery. We've already heard, she's over here, this lady speak very, very passionately about housing people. I completely agree. What the Grounded project does is take the next step, which is try and give people the skills to get them back into work. What we do essentially is work in partnership with Shekinah. Shekinah grows the site that we deliver on. We give them chainsaws, we give them brush cutters, and we give them strimmers, and we get them working in a realistic work environment so they can potentially go on to find employment or volunteer opportunities. What this does is, again, this gentleman talked very passionately about isolation, the social aspect, bringing people out of that isolation of alcohol and drug abuse, getting people working together as a group, the physical aspects of working outdoors. All these things are very well known, the benefits for this brings to people. It helps to build a working routine for a lot of people who've been coming from a lifestyle of absolute chaos in some cases. Some of the stories are heartbreaking. So building a routine. Some of these guys getting out of bed in the morning, getting on the bus and arriving at site, they're coming off probably shaking as much as I am. It's a massive step in their recovery for them. Crucially, what it also does is we will give them accredited qualifications. So these are nationally recognised qualifications, so they can go to an employer and say, yes, I do have a chainsaw qualification. Yes, I do have a brush cutter and a string qualification. They're ready, armed and equipped to go back into work. For a lot of them, depending on where they are in their recovery, this sometimes is too much. So we work in conjunction with Shekinah Grove for volunteer opportunities, also with Torbay Coast and Countryside Trust out of Berry Head for volunteer opportunities as well, to build this project, to get them this routine, to build up confidence. I've already said who we work with. Where do these guys come from? Well, they're referred through Torbay Community Development Trust. We've delivered successfully already to 8 people in the Torbay area, previously to 15 in the Plymouth area. And right now we have people who are ready to step onto their next available course. Chris Gibbons of Torbay Community Development Trust has said, this is what we've been waiting for. This is what my guys really need. They want real skills to get their hands dirty and crack on with something. Sorry. Okay, what is the impact? How's this measured? Well, as I say, we already have opportunities for guys to go on to volunteer to get into work. We have an 80% achievable rate, which to my mind is pretty bloody good, particularly when you take into mind that some of these guys are very early on their recovery. A lot of them are very, very unfit. They've not long been off the streets. We have 85%, and these figures are taken from the Plymouth area we've been doing. 85% have gone into work or volunteering following this programme. I have no idea how much time I'm on, but what I want to do is read you a testimonial from a guy who was on the last course from Torbay. And he says, this course has put confidence back in me with the tools. Before my addiction, I worked on the railway, and after being fired, I was full of fear. Thanks to this course, it's helped me to gain good skills I can use to go back to work with in the future. For this, I'm thankful. I really think more courses like this would be amazing, and it definitely gives someone that helping hand. Would highly recommend this to recovering addicts to help them back to work. The Grounded project can give that very good quality opportunity for these guys. It's slowed down. They have support. We go at a pace where these guys are able to keep up in terms of their physicality, in terms of their mental ability as well, and we will give them these recognised skills to get them back into work so they have an opportunity. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks for the presentation. Just want to start with a question of thinking and saying about people getting the bus there. What the rationale was for choosing Shekinah Row as the delivery location, given those who aren't familiar, it's up by Ockham Farm. Yeah. Could you explain why we feel this is the best location for it, as opposed to, let's say, someone that was within walking distance from home of those you're looking to help?
So the guys are out using brush cutters, trimmers, chainsaws. We need a site that obviously has quite a bit of space. I'm more than happy if people have suggestions or have sites to offer. Brilliant, bring it on. Shekinah have stepped forward and said that they're happy for us to use their site. It fits perfectly. We have a small area of woodlands with grass to work on. The site is all set up with toilets, all those kind of things. It's perfect.
Okay. So it wouldn't need any significant alterations. Part one, payment, that sounds the right place. You can go straight.
It's already been done. We've delivered to 8 people already up at Shekinah Grove.
Okay. Well, coming on to that, you say you've already run several sessions of the course, and just understand how those who have benefited from this work, how you've involved them in this plan for the future and taking it forward.
Okay, so what we've had in the past, in Plymouth, we've had some of the guys come back as mentors for their next programme to almost display, what's going on, how they've enjoyed it. And the same, I don't know for those of you who know up at Shekinah Grove how the system's run, but again, there's mentors there, some of who have already been through the programme. So they've come back with those experiences that they've already encountered on the Grounded project.
Okay, and there's the final question from me. You have a targeted group of beneficiaries. Do you have any plans to expand to offer this training to other groups that might be vulnerable and need of it?
Yeah, I mean, the target group at the moment is for those in recovery. It's also for those struggling to get back into employment. It has been delivered to people with mental health issues, so people who are struggling with anxiety, with depression. It's also been rolled out to referral schools as well. At the moment in Torbay, that seems to be the target group, and I don't want to run before I can walk, if that's the honest answer.
Thanks very much.
Okie dokie. So next we have the Friends of Torquay Library with Animal Antics.
Thanks very much.
Oh, I thought you might have bought some.
I didn't own myself. I'm going to try and do this without the microphone as well. They scare me a bit. My name is Joanna Gale, and I'm here today representing Friends of Torquay Library. Now, they are a constituted group of library members who, amongst other things, fundraising and putting on support activities at Torquay Library. I'm here today to ask your support to put on workshops called Animal Antics to run alongside the summer reading game. Now, every summer, Torquay Library invites all local primary school age children, that's 4 to 11-year-olds, to take part in the Summer Reading Challenge. This is a national programme run by the Reading Agency, so there are children all over the country doing exactly the same thing during the summer. This year, the programme is called Animal Agents. The challenge is to read 6 freely chosen books during the summer holidays. As they go along, children receive incentives, bookmarks, bangles. Their particular favourite are the scratchy, smelly sticker things. They're not very nice. They can be very smelly. And on completion, they receive a certificate and, best of all, a medal. Unfortunately, not gold, much to their amusement, but there you go. The aim is to keep reading fun and to make sure that they do not have the dip in reading ability that can occur during the summer holidays. Now, you may think that reading 6 books during the summer holidays is not much of a challenge. But my experience tells me that by week 2, they've found lots of other things to do during the summer holidays. And so we need to encourage them to keep reading for those 10 to 20 minutes a day, which is really all that's needed to keep those skills going. Now, in Torquay, there are a growing number of children who have English as an additional language. And as you can imagine, if you don't speak English at home, then it's even more difficult to maintain those language skills. Now, to address this issue, with your support, we'd like to extend the Summer Reading Challenge to deliver fun, free, creative workshops. We want to provide regular, specially designed workshops that will encourage speaking, listening, socialising, communicating and interacting to benefit all who take part. Whilst open to all, working in partnership with schools, Play Torbay and Torbay's Community Engagement Coordinator, that's a bit of a mouthful, we will target families with English as an additional language. Workshops will include storytelling, puppets, arts, crafts, for everyone to enjoy together. We aim to attract at least 25 children and 10 adults to each event. Everyone attending will be encouraged to continue accessing library resources and services after the summer. In the long term, individual children should have increased life opportunities by making sure their reading skills are maintained during the summer so that they are ready to start the new academic year. Every year, as part of the Summer Reading Challenge, teenage volunteers are recruited to talk and listen to younger children. With your help this year, we would like to have extra training provided by Torbay. This would enrich the experience for them by making it more meaningful. We would like the young volunteers to initiate activities which would appeal to other teenagers, which we find an age group that is particularly hard to reach. Now the overall cost for the project is £3,681.24, and we are seeking an award for £2,297. Thank you for considering the project.
Okay, you mentioned there that some of the beneficiaries you'll be targeting
Yes.
people, families where English is an additional language.
Yes.
Do you have any particular plans to market the project to those sorts of beneficiaries?
Absolutely, well, that will be done through schools, and we will be going out to all schools in the next few weeks, encouraging them, speaking at assemblies, and getting them involved in summer activities at the library, yeah.
Okay. And could you tell me a little bit more about the junior helpers and their role in the project?
Absolutely. Well, up until now, they come along and they take part when we do activities, and they talk to the children, and they listen to them read, they talk about their experiences, and generally, the young children and the teenagers get a lot out of it. It's building relationships. It builds the confidence of the teenagers because they're doing something worthwhile in the community, and it helps the youngsters who sometimes don't always want to speak to adults. You know, the age difference is more and more as we get older. So it's nice to have some young people around, and they can feel just their older brothers and sisters.
Thank you.
We are due next for our music. Our lady with the guitar and our young people are singing a song. She's not arrived yet because she's coming from Totnes. Can we get the next group to go? And then hopefully she'll be here in that time. It's Crafty Fox.
I think that's, it's okay by me. How does the audience feel? Let's test the...
You don't want to hear us sing without any music.
So so let's have a show. Well, I think out of respect, we ought to ask the Crafty Fox, who were hoping to come up in about 10 minutes' time, whether they'd be happy to step into the breach. Where are the Crafty Fox? Are you happy to take one for the team ladies, or? Oh, I'll leave you to negotiate that with the teenagers over the break. So, thank you very much. So, a quick change in the schedule. So, panellists, this will keep you on your toes. We're going to go to the Crafty Fox Cafe and Hub, and Can We Fox It?
Would you like a mic, Trudy? Or? No, I think we're good. Oh, right. Okay. Mic's Thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody, and thanks for letting us pitch. Hope you can all hear me at the back. I'm Maggie, and this is Trudy, and we're from the Crafty Fox Cafe and Hub in Vauxhall Painton, which is a community cafe offering a safe space for people to come and have a coffee, slice of homemade cake. It is a place where people can get advice on benefits and housing. We can help with getting them back into the workplace and also signpost them to other organisations that can help, or they can just make friends. Our project is called Can We Fox It? This is a pilot project, and we are talking to you today because we like to be able to provide the following service.
Since opening last October, we have spoken to many individuals and very quickly realised that there is a need for counselling for those people who are experiencing anxiety and stress and or addiction and can't seem to get help from local services, either due to high demand or local and national cuts. One of the local GPs actually visited us at the Crafty Fox to see what we had to offer, and is actually now referring people to us. So we would like to be able to pay for both a qualified anxiety and depression support worker, and an addiction counsellor, working at the hub for 4 hours each per week. We would also like to organise quarterly social trips and evening events for the people using these services. And the volunteers at the cafe will chat to them and find out what activities they'd like to get involved in and support them emotionally where possible. There are those individuals who prefer a more familiar and comfortable environment such as the Crafty Fox and are willing to engage in a less formal service. There will always be ongoing informal support that will happen naturally between the volunteers and those who come into the cafe, and we would like to arrange a quarterly outing for those who would like to engage with others in an alternative environment, and also several evening events. This will provide a positive outlook for those engaging in these events, and it will give them the opportunity to build friendships. Excuse me. Many people recovering from mental ill health require extra support, especially around finding and maintaining a place in the community and with housing and employment. The Crafty Fox can help with housing and employment issues and can assist them with finding their place in the community. Our intended participants live in the Foxhole and Great Parks area, and many are struggling to cope with their situation. The participants will benefit by accessing much needed help and support, and also by engaging with others in the community and to gain a feeling of belonging and inclusion in their neighbourhood. Many families are living in poverty and unable to afford all the Christmas activities and trips out leading up to Christmas. So the last thing that we would like to be able to do is to organise a spectacular Christmas event for the Great Parks and Foxhole community. We'd like to be able to hire in some catering to enable us to give away free, good quality food. We would like to have some seasonal activities and some local entertainers, and maybe even some small fair rides, not forgetting, of course, a very realistic and magical Father Christmas. The event will take place on the Foxhole Road green space at the end of November or the start of December on a Sunday afternoon, and will be organised by the volunteers. The aim is for these families to have the magic of Christmas brought to them and to give them long-lasting positive memories and also bring the community together. The whole community is welcome, and we will promote good citizenship and the positives of community engagement.
Our budget breakdown session workers is £3,600. Evening event food costs for 4 events is £200. Trips out £400 to cover the cost of minibus, fuel, food, expenses and entrance fees. Christmas event £1,000 for stage, activities, rides, catering, electrics, event licence and performers. Total amount is £5,200. As I said before, our project is called Can We Fox It? Can We Fox It? And we are hoping with your help that we can say, yes we can.
I love the name of your club, or your pub, otherwise brilliant. That the Foxhole is really, really good. Christmas, whose idea was there, and how did you identify the need for that special Christmas spectacle?
There used to be one, a Christmas event, and last year we didn't go ahead because of lack of funds, and a lot of people just say that they missed it, and you know, obviously the children as well. So we thought maybe we could bring it back to life again this year for the residents of both communities, Great Parks and Foxhole.
Will it make a difference? In what way? Just bring people together?
Just bring them together, socialise. You know,
And they have fun. They're not very often used to having fun, to be quite honest. They live in circumstances where fun isn't always an option.
Right. And you mentioned volunteers in a lot of your projects, and they will work with some of the vulnerable members of our society. How will they be supported with that work?
We support each other. That's what we're there for. We make friends. We get as much out of this as we put in, to be honest. And we're there to support each other.
Okay. And you're offering a vast array of services as part of your activity, which is really, really good. Who else are you partnering with that? What relationships do you have, and how we manage that?
They're still in the fledgling stages at the moment, so we're keeping our fingers crossed on that one. As I said, this is a pilot project, so we're going to have to see how it takes off. I know there's a need. We definitely identified the need, and hopefully this will give us the wherewithal to actually put something in place for those people that need it.
Terrific. Wish you all the best and happy Christmas.
Right. I'm afraid the people at the back are struggling to hear, so we are going to have to ask you to use a microphone. Can I also ask if people have got their mobile phones on, if they could put them to sleep mode or whatever, because apparently the glitches in the microphone sound, we believe is interference from somebody's mobile phone. So if you can just check your mobile phone. So if you're desperate to quickly go to the loo, you've got 5 minutes. We're back on, hopefully with totally teenagers and they're singing teenagers and guitars. So you've got a 5-minute trolley dash to the loo, and we'll be starting again in 5 minutes. So I've got my stopwatch going. We are missing a couple of panellists, we're missing one. If anybody can find Councillor Axel, if we can have him back at the table. Thank you. Right, folks, because we have got another 7 pitches, and of course, we want to count up the votes, hand out those cheques, but more importantly, we've got food. Never fails, never fails. So whilst we're counting the ballots, you'll be enjoying our light finger buffet, and then we'll have the cheque presentations. But thank you very much to the Crafty Fox Cafe and Hub for trading places so valiantly. And I'd like to introduce Totally Teenagers, but Simon would like a quick... No, he doesn't. No, thank you. That's unusual. He's going to hold the mic.
Okie dokie. Okay, well before we start singing, guys, I'm just going to say a few words about Totally Teenagers. We are a youth group. We work all over Torbay, but for this particular group, this is the Foxhole group, and these are actually the Foxhole Saints, because we have some very, very, shall we say, Foxhole sinners. And last week, our centre was broken into, severely damaged. It's a church hall. We work in partnership with Church Hall in Foxhole. We've only been in there for 3 weeks. We moved from the community centre, and a group of challenging young people have broken in, have stolen the blind archery group's bows and arrows, have shot all the glass in the vestry. Myself and my colleague have been up there today cleaning up, scrubbing graffiti off the windows, and they killed seagulls, and they did a raft of damage. But these are actually saints, because we have a greater majority of young people that really need what we offer in Foxhole on a Friday night, and for them to lose it because of the minority would be really criminal. So anyway, without further ado, they have a song that they want to sing as their pitch to you, and say a few words afterwards. So, okay, guys.
Here to tell you we're running low on resources. Where we are now, we're grateful for doing some entertaining stuff. We are the youth on Foxhole Estate,
because we were all really enjoying that. So I feel like a bit of I've got kids of my own, and I hate to be back to them while they were before me. So anyway, I'm going to hand you over to the panel. You might have a couple of questions which might help aid some of the bits that you didn't cover.
Right. I'd like to say well done. Is it next after next? I can see from here that it's quite an expensive project, and you're going to actually, you can't get all the funding. You're being sourced from some of the money from another source, £4,000. It'd be interesting to know who's helping you on that. You do actually work with a lot of other agencies. Are you sure you're not going to be duplicating, and how are you going to manage that?
There isn't anything else on a Friday night.
I think what is important, the name of Asden, I don't think, not Asden, is it? Or
The Asdan.
What it actually stands for, and finally, I do like the idea that you're training, or you're helping to train people to actually learn basic skills of life, like cooking, sewing, and examples, because there's an awful lot of young people who I'm sure would love to learn how to do basic things. Thank you.
Yeah, do you want to talk about? Oh, no, shall I answer for you? The reason why our project is, I suppose on paper, looks quite expensive. On average, we get 45 young people. Some of those have really, really challenging behaviour, as we've seen with the recent incidences up there. It is really difficult to keep them safe without the numbers of staff. I made 2 999 calls last Friday, and on the second call, the operator said, I can hear them because they were on the roof. They were on the roof and they were kicking the door. We can't operate if we haven't got enough staff, because I'm not going to put myself at risk or any of the staff or volunteers. So that's why it looks, like it's quite an expensive project. We offer make, do and mend, so they get to learn how to use a proper sewing machine. They can take charge of the cooking project, which means they take responsibility of taking the money, buying the food, bringing it in, writing up the menu board, cooking it and serving it to other young people. And when I say food, whatever food we cook is 50 pence. It's 50 pence a portion. And sometimes, even at 50 pence, young people turn up and they haven't got the money, but you can tell they're hungry. So, yes, we provide them with that. The ASDAN, now I can't remember off the top of my head what that actually stands for, but ASDAN means it's an accredited award which young people can get. They have to volunteer for a minimum of 10 hours as part of their ASDAN accreditation. And for some young people who are not going to get any formal qualification at school, these ASDANs are a recognised qualification. So it's not just, a Make a Difference award or something else. It is actually an accredited qualification.
So they could jobs.
Yes.
Yeah,
because
that's important to know.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Can I thank you very, very much for that? I'm so pleased with it. Happy round of applause. Thank you, Ava,
and also Bernie from breaking across the top left and finding somewhere to park the car and bringing her guitar. So, moving swiftly on, we have Torbay Ladies Lounge with Ladies United. And I'm afraid we are having to ask you to use the mic.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Rosie, and on behalf of Torbay Ladies Lounge and our project, Ladies United, thank you for this opportunity to share our vision. I had the privilege of setting up Torbay Street Pastors 10 years ago, and was amazed to meet so many vulnerable women who had so little support. When I stepped down from the role of a Torbay Street Pastor Coordinator in 2014, I was asked by Torbay Sacred Communities to set up a voluntary-run, women-only drop-in for vulnerable women, sex street workers, street sleepers, victims of domestic violence, victims of substance addiction and those with mental health problems. January 2015, after our training, we started Ladies' Lounge on Mondays, 11:30 to 2 o'clock, in a small room underneath Mary Mag's Church Hall. Within 6 months, we had outgrown that, and we moved on to the Salvation Army building, renting the top floor in Market Street, Torquay. And in 2.5 years, we have seen over 80 women. Some have stayed and others have moved on. Ladies' Lounge on Mondays has been so successful, our ladies have requested we open on a Wednesday as well. The Wednesday afternoon project we are putting to you this evening has been called Ladies United by our ladies themselves. To make this work, we need more craft equipment, extra rent, food, more DBS checks, more training and publicity. This all adds up to £3,910. Our ladies enjoy various activities, crafts, games, chill out, eat homemade cake, drink coffee time, followed by a freshly cooked meal. As our ladies have learned to trust us, and because of our training, we've been able to signpost them to the appropriate help and encourage them to look forward instead of living in the past. Comments made by the ladies themselves include, "I'm so grateful for the care and support I have received from Ladies' Lounge. If it hadn't been for them, I would be living on the streets." Ladies' Lounge is a safe haven. Thank God for Ladies' Lounge, that's all I can say. While I'm here, I'm not drinking. While I'm here, I'm not getting into trouble. While I'm here, I'm not spending money. Recently, we brought in a 10-week craft course called Pieced Together, and during this course, the ladies discovered talents they didn't know they had. They produced items for their own homes that they were so proud of, and we watched them grow in confidence and self-esteem. Many even wrote poetry, and this is one of them that sums up why we do this. It's called Broken, Not Rubbish. I am worth fixing, I am not rubbish, just broken. I've got a broken wing, but it's not rubbish. The vet wants to throw me away, but no, let me live another day. I'm not rubbish, just broken. My feathers are intact, and that's a fact. I can't fly, but my beak works well, so I can eat. My wing might be broken, but I've got 2 feet. So I am broken, but I am not rubbish. This same lady was an agoraphobic brought to us by a mental health care worker, being too anxious to come out on her own. 2 weeks ago, she went shopping before she came to us on her own. She was so excited with her achievement, as were we. One of our ladies had her children taken away from her 26 years ago, and I first met her 2 years ago in Mary Mag's living room, shouting out to anyone who would listen to her pain of not knowing what's happened to them. She is one of our regulars who turns up early and leaves late and gets completely engrossed in learning new craft skills, enjoys our meals. Without her, she couldn't eat. I hope you will agree we are providing a valuable service of support to our community during such austere times, giving hope and a forward vision to the hopeless. It is so rewarding to see the changes that take place in a woman's life when she is appreciated, cared for and encouraged. Thank you.
Perfect timing. So, any questions from the panel?
Okay. It's me on questions for this one. It's interesting to hear about the work being done, and you're obviously looking to extend the services, but by extending it by having another session in Torquay. But explain to us why you see basing both sessions in Torquay as the priority.
When the Centre Communities asked me to set this up, it was to be the first women-only drop-in centre at the time. And we need to be near land stocks. We need to be near the services that women come to, so that we're local to the ones that we're trying to help. We started as close as we could to land stocks in the beginning because we thought that's where our referrals were going to come from. But actually, they're coming from all over Torbay.
Just to mention some of the partners you're already working with, like the Lemon Stock Centre, obviously.
Yeah.
They're looking at some of the needs of the meeting and likely to be supported by those sorts of services. Can you describe perhaps how, with this project, you work with local partners, how you fit this with the wider provision of activities taking place in Torbay that supports them?
Right. From here, we have a timetable of what the work that goes on here, so we can pass that information on. We work with Chadwell, they bring their mental health clients in because there's nowhere else for them to go. And Paul, who brings them in, and Emma, they like arcade. We work with Shrublands and Walnut Lodge. I'm giving a talk there again in August to inform them of changes that have taken place. So we're available to everybody who wants to come out of isolation and to address the problems that they have.
I know one of the reasons why Street Passes has been so successfully involved in previously was that it's people who've helped and support then perhaps go on and get involved themselves and become pastors themselves. How, in terms of this service, do you involve those you're looking to support in developing the services you offer and making it that it's something being done for them, perhaps rather than, let's say, something that's potentially being done what other people think might be the right thing for them?
Sorry, I didn't quite
what I think about, a lot of times we see services, many people are quite vulnerable who've been through, have had services that have almost been provided to them.
Right.
How do you involve them and make sure that in this support area they're getting the services they want and it's developing the offer overall to them?
Definitely, this is for them, it's not for us. And so we're always asking them for feedback on what they want to do and to make the most of what we've got to offer. We've got them queuing up now for sewing machines. This is why we need the funding, because they're getting really interested in homemaking and then maybe raising funds for Ladies Lounge with a gift there. So it's encouraging them to think not so much of themselves, but how they can help one another. The relationships that are growing within the group itself are amazing. They're meeting up outside. They're not so isolated as they were before they came to us. So we're seeing a lot of progress, miracles we're seeing.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Ladies Lounge. So, moving on, we have Play Torbay with Imagine This, consultation with young people in Torbay.
Thank you for this opportunity to talk about the Imagine This project. My name is Stephen Chown, I'm a trustee of Play Torbay, and this is Jade Watley, one of the young people who's involved in the Digital Academy, or Digital Agency, which is actually a group of young people that are looking at online messaging with and for young people. We're part of a sort of wider partnership of 24 organisations in the voluntary sector that are actually sort of looking at trying to give young people a voice through the Imagine This project. And Imagine This came about because we wanted to say, what would it be like in 2025 if young people could say, growing up in Torbay is a great experience, it's a great place to be. We live in a digital and media age, and obviously young people actually communicate through online media messaging all the time. And what we want to do through this project is actually to give children and young people a voice about the sort of future direction of Torbay. We want to understand what matters to young people, how young people can actually make a difference, and actually recognise that young people are not a problem, they're not the problem, but they have problems themselves. And it's about actually supporting those young people to make a positive contribution in society. And really the question is, what's it like for young people to grow up in Torbay? Different to my generation, different to my son's generation. It's a different kettle of fish in terms of the way in which children grow up, the sorts of experiences that they have. And I think this is an opportunity for young people to have a voice. One of the things that we want to do is obviously to contribute to a wider discussion within the Bay about children and young people's services, particularly around the sort of youth service and provision for young people. We know that there is no strategic plan in Torbay for children and young people. The local authority is in financial pressures because of austerity, but we think that children and young people are part of the solution in actually finding different ways that children and young people can be engaged in different activities. And this is one of those activities which would offer children and young people that sort of voice. We know that 1 in 4 young people are living in poverty within the Bay. And that's a really staggering sort of some of the young people. And those young people actually need services that are actually outside their family home. They need support in the home, they need support outside the home. And obviously what we want to do is to work with those young people. Now, I'm just going to hand over to Jade, who has been popped.
Thank you. I'm Jade, and I would like to thank everyone for the opportunity. So one thing I've noticed growing up is that funding has definitely decreased, and that breaks my heart for lots of reasons. I have a little brother. I literally raised him because I'm a young carer, and he's not going to get the opportunities that I am, that I had growing up. For my entire life, I've worked with young carers, Children's Society, Torbay councils, other places where I got my voice heard. I have opinions and I matter, and I am aware of that. But so many people aren't, and that breaks my heart. Without any of these opportunities, I wouldn't have the confidence to be here. I mean, now I'm really gobby and you can't shut me up. It is honestly one of the best but worst things, as you probably all gather. From it, I own my own business now. I'm 17 years old and I own a makeup company. I was head makeup artist on a film. I did this because of what I grew up doing, and without that I'd be nothing. As a young carer, I found it really positive, a way to get out the anger, get out the thing, and I can see it. I can see everything I'm doing coming out positively. It means that everything I'm doing, I'm not destroying stuff, I'm not getting angry, I'm being positive, and I am someone, and I'm so important. And so is everyone, and I think that is so important for young people to learn, because people just don't know.
Thank you, Jade. Thank you, Jade. And that's one of the reasons why I think that we actually need to give children and young people a voice. And we're looking really for somebody to actually set up some focus groups with lots of different organisations in the Bay. We've actually invited expressions of interest from all sorts of people, including Brixton YES, from Youth Genesis, and from Peyton YMCA, amongst others. And what we want to do is actually to sort of grow, if you like, a campaign, almost a movement for young people around the messaging around Imagine This, and actually communicating with other young people through digital means. We're going to provide some support for 2 organisations to actually develop the tools to communicate with young people, so they can talk to each other, and so that those young people can then pass on their messages to adults. Because this is a different era that we live in now, and I think part of this is actually around giving them the skills and the confidence with that digital media that we're growing up with, that I didn't grow up with in my young day, but they are growing up with now. They're facing different problems, and that requires different sorts of solutions. Torbay has offered to coordinate this on behalf of the partnership, so we can disseminate some of those messages that come from young people. What we really want people to do and to vote for is Imagine This, to give a voice to young people in the Bay.
And we're spot on 5-minute tick. So, panel members?
Thank you. Well done. One thing I like to see is youngsters come forward with ideas, and there's not many opportunities for you people to do that. I think having the opportunity is what youngsters need. We need to hear what youngsters are. They are our future. You don't look at our youngsters and wonder we're in a mess sometimes, because we're not, what Amelie says, we're not really looking at their needs. They are a different generation. We've had different generations growing up. Every 10 years it practically changes. And we must understand that. And we must understand that we have to understand them. So I'm really glad you've come here with your voice, because that's really important. Just a couple of questions. How do you involve carers in planning what you're doing? And how do you link up with other organisations around the Bay?
Just to answer that, I mean, we're linked. I mean, part of it is actually, this has come from a Children and Young People Strategic Partnership, which is basically made up of 24 organisations that are in the voluntary and community sector. So already we've got well-established links through Torbay with other organisations. And part of the project is actually to grow that with other youth groups within the Bay. And obviously, I think one of the things that's come from tonight is actually to talk to some of the groups that are here, that have already made their pitches, to see whether they'd actually like to be part and parcel of the Imagine This project as it goes forward. Because I think part of this is actually about giving people a positive opportunity to make a contribution and make a difference within their community. I think one of the things that I've found from this evening is it's actually given everybody that sort of vision. And I think that that's one of the things that this project will do, is it will link with lots and lots of youth organisations within the Bay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okie dokie, so coming up we have Carers Aid Torbay with their project Bay Benefits. Welcome, Penny.
Thank you very much.
Hello everybody, my name's Penny. I'm the manager of Carers Aid Torbay. We've heard a lot of people being passionate today. I'm very passionate about unpaid carers. And I'm just wondering if there's anybody here who may be an unpaid carer, somebody who looks after somebody, and because of that, that person can manage and they can cope and they can have a good life. Is there? It was lovely to hear from you and follow you. Thank you. Bay benefits are going to be the benefit of people in the Bay. We're going to get a sessional worker, somebody who is very, very well known in the area for his experience of 20 years supporting people with entitlement and benefit work. So we'll be working in 3 carer centres, and that's going to be in Torquay, Paynton, and also in Brixton. The guy that's going to be doing the sessional work will be doing it for 15 hours a week. He's going to be working 4 people, so it will be outside of hours sometimes. It will be doing benefit work, but it will also be entitlement work. And what we want to do is like a bespoke package, which sounds kind of like tailoring, but it's not. It's so that we would sit down and say, how are you? What's bothering you? Are you paying too much for your utilities? Are you getting the right entitlements? And we would hope that we would get monies for these good folk who really desperately need it because they are looking after somebody or they are being looked after by somebody. We reckon that probably John would be able to see about 8 people a week on a one-to-one basis, and that would mean that there'd be about 360 odd people benefiting on a one-to-one basis. But then there'd be more people because it would be families as well that would benefit. And I can tell you now that I know that we can get over £100,000 into people's pockets by doing this. People who really need that money. And I'm thinking of a couple now, Mr. and Mrs. M, who moved down to this area, as so many people do, and everything was just grand. But then Mr. M got really very poorly. His mobility was poor, and his wife had to give up work to care for him. They were very strapped for cash and they didn't know what to do. We were able to help with carers allowance and attendance allowance, and it did mean that they could rethink their isolation. It did mean that they could get taxis back and forth when they needed it, and it did mean that they could visit their family back in Surrey about every 6 weeks without worrying where on earth will we get the money from. You know what a difference 10, 20, £100 a week would make to you. But imagine if you were looking after someone who was really poorly. Imagine being in a household where people are really poorly. We're asking for £9,905.20. We worked it out really, really well. This is to pay for somebody to do this very valuable work. We are very passionate that carers should get your support tonight. We are Bay Benefits. We are going to, as Carers Aid Torbay, put in free admin costs so that the person who is going to be doing the entitlement work will just be doing that. He's not going to be worrying about getting calls in, worrying about getting people in, worrying about making appointments. He is going to be saying to somebody, hello, it's good to see you, how can I help you? Let's have a look at that. Oh, I'm good at filling that in. That's fine. We can do this together. We know we can do it. We know we can start in a couple of weeks. We know we have the backup. We know that we have, 19,000 carers out in the bay. I know just one or two of you put your hands up then, but maybe you don't know that you are a carer. I came off a hospital ward many years ago and someone said to me, oh, are you a carer? And I said, no, I'm just a mum. And we're here and passionate about carers. Hope you've got that. Please vote. Please vote. Very much.
How would you link with other organisations supporting carers across the bay?
Thank you for asking that. I've been the manager of Carers Aid Torbay, otherwise known as Crossroads, for 7.5 years now. And we have made many, many links. One of the things that we do so very well is networking. And we are linked up with, I think, every carers group and every organisation. Are you beaten or am I? Pardon if it's me. Yes, we're very linked into networks. I often do talks to different groups. Anywhere where I know carers will be, I hang out. I have been known to hang out in supermarkets, certainly churches, church groups, communities, where everywhere, you know, the first few months of starting out, I was everywhere to be found. We are well known in the Bay.
Okay.
For that. Sorry.
That's all right.
I got you on a bit.
The benefits advisor as well, will they be able to advise on a range of different benefits?
Yes.
So the early and
Yeah, that's what I mean, I don't know how many people enjoy filling in forms. You know, it's just like, ooh, good. And sometimes you open them up and think, how many pages? 68, unbelievable. Yes, our chap is going to do this bespoke service where he's going to say, oh, have you got a blue badge as well? Attendance allowance, no problem. Have you got carers allowance? Yes, we can do that. Oh, utilities? Should you be on Watershore? I'm not sure. You know, so it will be a whole range of things, and covering from housing benefit to, and I'm going to say the words we don't like, PIP, ESA, AA, CA. Sorry to talk in those things. I can say the big words, but it's all scary when you see the forms. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right then. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Penny. So, moving on, we have SoFly, Community Interest Company, talking about their Great Parks Pick and Mix.
Yeah. Hi everyone, I try not to go on too long and bore you too much, but I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm not going to go and start with what we're going to do. I'm going to go with why we're going to do what we're going to do. So basically about 4 years ago, I started a company called SoFly, and I had a bit of a mission to help change the lives of young people. And all of a sudden, this momentum sort of kept going, and we've seen us just change a remarkable amount of young people's lives. So we're on a bit of an adventure there, and we're trying different things, different services. We're very innovative in what we do. And then about 2 months ago, a proposition got put forward to me in the Great Parks Community Centre. Now, sorry, I'm eating some of it. But in the Great Parks Community Centre, there was a bit of an issue that they were financially very struggling, and the community is very isolated and not receiving any maintenance grants from the council. So it took a little bit of a minute, took my time and thought, okay, how can I help this community centre? Because all I do is help young people. I don't necessarily know too much about how we're going to help the whole wide community. And so I spoke to my team, I said, right, there's an opportunity here. We're going to not just change the lives of young people, we do that already, that's fantastic. But let's upskill ourselves, let's level up, and let's try and change a community as a whole. And so about a month later, we asked around, we pulled on a lot of strings, and we managed to renovate the centre. And we put together a new IT suite, we did a nice new paint job. So if you come down and see it, but that's a different pitch, so that's not this pitch. So yeah, so we sort of renovated it, and we sat down with a few individuals, we've done a bit of consultation work, and we pulled on our partners for some of that consultation work, and we sort of said, okay, how can we align a bid here that can not just collaboratively work with everybody, but can actually see us upskill the community and the community groups so that they're more sustainable and more sort of innovative, that actually they're not just constantly asking for money and asking for a handout, but they're making themselves sustainable themselves, and that actually there's not that dependency on the services and not that dependency on government grants, because they're innovatively thinking that we can dynamically bring in other streams of funding, different dynamics, and we can sort of share that skills that what I've learned over 4 years and what they might have to do that. So that's pretty much why we're doing what we're doing, and what we're doing is we're sort of reinventing this centre, and we have an aim that we're going to make the community centre a community hub that can be a role model to not just 1 or 2 community centres within Torbay, but the whole of Torbay. And we hope that the Great Parks community, instead of being labelled as the most deprived area in Torbay, can be actually a role model for other communities on how we get together and we come together and we use our skills and we help each other and we just develop this sort of creative dynamic where you have groups from stay and play to sort of toddler groups to craft intergenerational groups to benefit support to a huge wide of ideas that not just I can list here, but you can think of, and that's really what we're looking for. Is we're looking for this start-up little bit of money to go towards some of the work that we've already done, and hopefully create a legacy that Great Parks Community Centre can continue to be great and have the support that it deserves. Thank you.
So, time for questions.
Thank you. Just a couple of questions. Great project. You mentioned partners and collaboration quite a bit of your project. Can you expand on who those partners might be and how you can avoid duplication possibly with this funding?
So in terms of partnership work, we always said from day dot that we wanted to do as much partnership work as we can, because actually it upskills ourselves and it upskills others. And of course, we always wanted to make sure that we're not stepping on people's toes, we're not duplicating what we want to do. So we've worked and we've gone out and we're already, as So Fly, connect with multiple of youth organisations that are probably in this room pitching alongside us. But we've also gone and done the research with other community groups and other community centres to see how their dynamics work so that we can use their best bits and they can use our best bits to make an ideal approach of it actually working together and being self-sustainable and more efficient.
On the same lines, really, residents are quite key to this, I would have thought. So how are you going to tap into their skills?
So absolutely. So the residents are so key that they're more key than us, in fact. So what we want to do is we want to upskill them, but also pull on the great skills that they already have. So there's no better sort of resource than your community. And so the community coming in, they know what they want, they know what they like. They've been there and seen what's happened. But what we can do is we can use our skills to upskill them to say, okay, what you're doing is fantastic, the ideas are great, the groups, they're fantastic, they're connecting with a real audience, but this is how we're going to tweak that a little bit. We're going to come in and we're going to say, how can we think more sustainably? How can that be more viable? Because without looking at a sustainable and ongoing future, you're just popping up, doing a great job, don't get me wrong, and then going again. Now that isn't consistency that anybody wants, especially when you depend on a service. So we want to create an ability for the groups that are there to upskill them to say, okay, they're going to be there for the long run. Consistency in their lives, and then they can continue to do the great work that they're doing.
I mean, you've answered that really. The last question is how you can change people's lives.
Well, the community will change themselves. We're just a little bit of an enabler and a little bit of an upskiller to say, go and do it, believe in a brighter future, a more inspired future, and yeah, change the world.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so second, the penultimate, we're near the end. So we've got Dave and Liz from the Disabled Sailing Association. If you'd like to step forward.
Step up, right?
One ice cream. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
I hate these damn things. And would you believe it, I'm number 13. Good evening, I'm Dave Musgrove, Chairman of Disabled Sailing Association. I'd like to talk a little bit about the association first. I know I've only got 5 minutes and I could talk for a year. It's a fabulous organisation. It was started by 6 people with disabilities who love sailing at sea, and basically they decided that it was time we got together and moved this forward and give the opportunity for the fun and freedom of sailing at sea for other people with disabilities. Last year, in 2016, we sailed 973 people with disabilities or linked to their family. Fabulous amount of people went with us. What we found with the organisation is grown like topsy. It's a pain in the blooming butt. It really is, because it's full of its own success. People come to us and say, can we join? And it goes on my phone every day, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 calls a day. And we don't say no to people with disabilities. We also don't say no to other groups. We have homes with rehabilitation workers and bringing people. We have care homes, all sorts of different people, as you can see with the amount of people we sail. Why am I here tonight? It's because of the demand from those disabled people. They found they're no longer, what's the magic word? They know that they're respected. They're no longer out of this normal life. We've joined with Royal Torbay Yacht Club. We've got the backing of our brilliant harbour master and some of the council. They don't all know us because they won't look at the sea half the time. They're too busy working with their policies. But bluntly, what we're finding is that people who come to us want more and more and more. And one of the things that we've done for a long time from the beginning was to get people actually working on the boat, working together. It's a healthy activity. They go out on the sea, they join together, they become social, but they want more. I don't know why. It's great fun, but what they want is to actually learn to become skippers, learn to become yacht masters. Those are the most sort of advanced, but they're our learning difficulty people. They come to us, can we do more? Can we become a crew member? Can we do this? Can we do that? Can we have a radio license so we can call the Coast Guard? Yes, they can. Why not? Who says they shouldn't? And that's what our project's all about. It's about training. We've got our own account set up specifically for training. That's where the money for this will go. As it goes in, we'll be using money. We do ask for a small donation from our people. If they can't afford it, then I waive it. I'm the only one to know, so there's no embarrassment. And here we are at the situation where we've just trained through a pilot study somebody who came to us. He was absolutely wrecked through a breakdown. He couldn't come to staying with us on his own, he had to have a carer. He's grown, he came through the training courses, he's got his radio licence, he's now got his competent crew to the point where he has become a first mate on our boats. He's completely, I wouldn't say completely cured, no, what is it? He's not completely well again, he never will be, but he's got the confidence, he's back in the world, he lives normal, and he's handling our boat like an absolute professional, and we want to see more and more and more of this. We need the funds because we're solely reliant on grants and gifts and collecting, shaking the pennies in the box. Will you please vote for us? Thank you.
5 minutes, so panel questions.
Well, thank you for the presentation, Dave. I've got a couple of questions for you. You talked about the pilot. For those who took part in the pilot you ran, can you explain what else they've gone on to do as a result of their improved confidence and skills?
What else they've done to do? I don't honestly know. You mean outside of our organisation?
Yeah, is there anything else they've picked up and able to do? To give an example you gave, which was a great one. Anything else you've heard from them?
Well, the young lady beside me will tell you. Shall I answer that or shall she?
She's welcome to if she'd like to.
What's it done for you?
It's changed my life. Before disabled saying I was badly injured and I was on the scrap heap basically. I gave up on myself. And got in time, I saw a little advert about disabled savings, so I thought I'd give it a try. And then look back, it's given me more confidence. And I can help other people on the boat as well. Give them advice and help them with skills that I've learned through disabled sailing. It's just fantastic.
Brilliant.
How long have you been with us, Liz?
Oh God. 6 years, maybe more.
Yeah.
And how will you ensure that these places will be given to those individuals who are least able to afford this training?
How will we ensure? It's because there will be members or people who come to me personally. I seem to be at the top of it and work like nobody's business, but it will only be people with disabilities or disadvantaged people. That's who it will go to. How can we assure you?
Great, thank you.
Can't.
No, well, I'm sure you'll do a good job of it, Dave. And how do you think the wider community will benefit by training these individuals in these specific qualifications you're including in this project?
The wider community will see what disabled people and people who are disadvantaged in some way or another suddenly build up their lives and become a credit to the local community. You know, they've been hidden away in 4 walls and now they're out and about and having great fun. Our boats are both stacked just by the harbour wall, by the Harvester pub over the other side of the harbour. They've got a big sign on it, and every day the public and the visitors to Torquay can see our boats going out with disabled people on board. Wheelchairs go on board. You know, what they see is what you get. It's wonderful. Brilliant. I can only say thanks to my volunteer group. We've got over 80 volunteers. Fabulous people.
Thanks for that, David. It's much appreciated.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're finishing off with the Friends of Paynton Library with their Managing Your Tablet Technology introductory sessions.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me okay? Yep, thanks. Well, hopefully you're not suffering from big fatigue is the first question. This Managing Tablet Technology bid is aimed at, it's a very simple bid actually, but potentially powerful. We're looking to buy a small number of tablet computers for the Friends of Paynton Library, and then we'll offer training courses for those tablets, and then we'll look into put them out for loan then for a 4-week period after that. Can I just ask a quick question, please? Could you raise your hand if you have access to a tablet? That's quite a few, I think. And second question, could you indicate if you would be or know somebody who would benefit from the tablet training course? So there's obviously a demand there. So, what are the potential benefits of improved digital literacy via tablets? The motivation for this bid was triggered by my personal recent volunteering experience with the Red Cross. One of my participants had been actually bedbound for the last 2 years and requested IT tablet computer support. The enabling benefits for this individual included secure internet banking, which is obviously really important if you can't get out of your accommodation. Personal shopping, we had some fun and games with shopping. I remember we ended up with 6 iceberg lettuces at one stage, which Tesco's were very kindly donated to us. Confident crash recovery, so if the tablet or computer does crash, then we can recover it. That's quite a big hindrance actually for a lot of people. Social blogging, this particular participant was involved in all sorts of social blogging, managed to integrate himself into a variety of different scenarios. Access to email. One of the most powerful benefits for this particular individual was the use of Skype. So this individual was Skyping relatives and friends in Australia and Canada. Use of the camera, access to YouTube. I was surprised by the number of financial savings that this particular person made. It was easy to configure it for visual impairment support, so it was a big advantage. And it seemed to reduce social isolation quite dramatically, actually, for what seemed to be quite a simple project. This experience triggered the bid for this evening, and what we're looking to do is a very simple, straightforward, very good value bid. At the moment, there's a much bigger project going on in Hampshire through the Hampshire Libraries, just to let you know, where they were awarded £250,000 to buy 100 tablet computers, and they were loaning them out in an effort to tackle social digital isolation, problems associated with English as a second language, lone parents and people on low income. So that was their target area. And that's currently running at the moment. So we don't have any results from that project, and you could regard this as a sort of mini pilot project too. This is obviously on a much smaller scale. We would like to buy 10 tablets and provide the training sessions to support those. The aims and objectives of the project are multifaceted. They would improve IT skills, reduce social digital isolation, enable financial savings, as I've already stated. The precise details of the bid would be £3,400 for 10 tablets, and that would include the cost of the training as well. We would then loan the tablets out to members of Painting Library on a 4-week loan period in an effort to try and reach people that are isolated in the community. So potentially the training with the 10 tablets, we would be able to train 200 people with this bid funding at a cost of £2 per person if I take away the value of the tablets. The tablets, I would say, possibly have a life of 2 years. That's a guess, really. So to summarise then, we would like to bid for £3,400 to purchase 10 tablet computers, deliver the training sessions in the Painting Library. The facilities in the Painting Library are already in place. We have an IT suite and people to do the training. We would loan the tablet computers to library members after we finish the training. The potential benefits could be very important certainly for some individuals. Okay, that's very much.
Thank you very much. So, panel questions.
Right, okay. How many sessions How many sessions roughly over the course of the year do you think we run? So there'll be 200 people taking part expected. So how many sessions?
So we're planning to initially run with the 10 tablets 20 hours of tuition, so that'd be 200 people.
And who would be the typical type of resident that you would see taking part in the project, do you think?
They would be 18 plus, and we don't really know yet. We've canvassed within the library, and we've had a whole range of age groups who are actually interested in it. There's, as you well know, there's people who like to create YouTube videos, etc. There's people who like more basic training, just accessing a computer tablet. There seems to be a lot of people who've got tablets in gathering dust in cupboards and things like that, because we're not quite sure the best ways to use them. So I think it'll be quite interesting to see who actually turns out.
That's the beauty of the final project.
Yes, yeah. And I think what they're finding in Hampshire is that they're finding a very quick take-up for the tablets.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Right, we are 10 minutes over time. So the pressure's on. 14 pitches, £70,000. We are planning to announce the results. I would say let's give a generous half an hour so you can at least have a bit of a chance to chill. So we plan to announce the results at 8:10 back in this room, which is slightly later than planned, I do apologise. However, it's your ballot cards that we need. You have got a detachable bit of paper, so you can keep that if you still want to think about the feedback and have that in, no pressure. But if we could have the ballot cards in, you have 10 minutes to choose your 4. It has to be 4. If you choose 3, 2 or 1, your ballot card is invalid. If you choose 5, 6 up to 14, equally it will be invalid. And if you can hand that to the staff who greeted you when you arrived this evening. We have refreshed the tick charts when you arrived. So you might want to just take a look at that with your light finger buffet in hand and decide whether your opinion has changed about how much you understand that the National Lottery awards to all and the benefits it could bring to Torbay has moved after listening to the pitches tonight. So 10 minutes for your votes, hand them into reception, enjoy your grub, and we'll be announcing the results at 8:10. Thank you very much. As many on as we can. We'll have the Torbay Sardines Fest on the stage. But then there will be an opportunity individually to have your photograph taken with your panellists presenting the cheques to you. So if you can just take that time, have that photograph, we'd be really, really grateful. So I'm going to hand the microphone over and we're going to announce the first winner.
The first winner is Fort Apache.
Yay!
Oh my God.
No, not me.
No, I don't want to go.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the next one is Humanity to Obey.
Obviously, it's interesting to see how these get paid into the bank at the council. The next winner is SoFly.
Go Torbay!
Cheers.
Oh, fantastic. Disabled Sailing Association.
Green.
The next winner is, I'm pleased to announce, is Play Torbay.
The next one is Grounded.
Get some sleep now,
I'll clap anyway.
Well, given that this area is actually stops at my back garden wall, it's the Elegant Community Partnership.
Well done, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Totally Teenagers.
Well done, Torbay.
And finally, Carers Aid.
Wow, that's a session and a half. I think we'll call it down here. Now, there will be some of you in the room that have done some fantastic pitching tonight and might feel a little bit disappointed. And what I'd like you to do, so Lucy, if you can raise your hands. Lucy is from our awards hall team in Birmingham, and myself. If you would like to come and meet us in the foyer, where you were eating your food a little bit earlier. So those of you that weren't successful, Lucy and I would like to chat to you about potential next steps, and we've got a leaflet to hand to you. For those of you too that have got the cheques, please can you not leave before collecting what you need to do next? Because as Kevin said, you're not going to be able to pay that check into your bank. And actually we've got some practical stuff that we need to finish off. Can we give our panel a massive round of applause? Thank you. Can you give yourselves a massive round of applause? Without you guys, I'd be out of the door, basically, I guess you could say. But it's fantastic to hear about all of the fantastic work. You know, we hope to continue carrying on supporting Torbay. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you might have noticed, if you've got your calculators out on your iPhones or your tablets, that the amount we gave out wasn't £70,000. We had a bit of discretion, thanks to Matt here on the day. We've actually awarded £72,263, not forgetting the 20 pence. That is an absolute fantastic achievement. For those of you that would like to have more photos up on the stage, perhaps with some of your friends, people that want to take photos, feel free. For those of you that weren't successful, Lucy and I will be waiting for you in the lobby, but I'm just going to hand over now to Simon from Torbay Community Development Trust, because actually without their help, we wouldn't have got to this point today. So Robin Corsley at the back there, raise your hand. So Robin is supporting all of the groups that applied. We had 31 expressions of interest, asking for just over £183,000. And we had to sift that based on size of group, because we like to get it out to those grassroots, volunteer-led groups in the main. And, you know, that's how we reached the 14, particularly those that have not had funding from us in the past. And I think you all deserve a big round of applause. But I'm going to hand over to Simon to close the night.
I actually just want to say a huge thank you personally and on behalf of Torbay to Jenny Fish. Let's hear it for Jenny Fish. I don't know, but I suspect actually it took a lot of persuading to get the Gottery Fund to actually test this out in Torbay, and only Jenny Fish could have done that with the support of Catherine at the back. So thank you to both of you. I can't actually remember what you said, but we were first for something, wasn't it? What was it?
First where the audience have actually voted for who gets
Right, so it was first here in Torbay, and maybe it could be this rolls out across the country, who knows? Because the lottery are testing these types of approaches to come up with better ways to reach the grassroots groups. So all the work we've done here tonight in Torbay could actually influence the way this happens across the country. So a huge thank you to all of you for taking part, and a huge thank you to those who pitched, because it's pretty nerve-wracking, I know. So I just want a fantastically successful night. One little fact to end. Last year in Torbay there were 28 awards for all bids. We've managed to award 11 tonight in one night. So this is more resources to support the great work of 9 tonight. Whoops. But those groups, as Jenny said, who didn't get awarded, please go and talk to Jenny right now. So a huge thank you for your time, energy, and again to the panellists. Matt from the central team, the MP Kevin Foster, Jim Parker, and Councillor Echo. And last but not least, to the cameraman, Matt Saunders. Thank you. And to Sophia from Real World Homes. Thank you. Good night.
Small grants. As a local officer, we just come across a project And even though they don't have a computer and they handwrite it in, it was fairly straightforward what that project was doing. And they asked for such a small amount in perspective of some of the amounts that we've seen handed out tonight. So we received the form from Young at Heart asking for £900. And I'm going to pass the microphone over to Cora and Dorothy. Maybe you want to tell us a little bit about the project that you do, what you're going to spend that money on. But we all saw that application come in. It was a no-brainer, small grant for us, an opportunity to work differently. We weren't going to reject that form. Lucy phoned up the group, had a chat with them over the phone, much more approachable, and we've made that award of £900. So technically we've made £900 more than what I announced at the beginning. I'm so sorry for that. But if you can let Torre and Dorothy just say a very little bit about what they do and what they're going to be spending that very special amount on.
Thank you very much. I won't keep you long because I'm sure you're all dying to go. Young at Heart is a self-help group for over 50s. We do all sorts of activities, but the two that we needed help with was our singing group, where it has been made larger because there are more enthusiastic people want to go, and instead of singing in harmony they want to sing in 4 parts, and the leader couldn't afford the music for 4 parts, so we've asked for a small grant for that. And the other thing we asked, I will ask Dorothy to tell you about because this is her baby.
Yeah, the other part is for the dancing. We do circle dancing, and currently we still have to lug about an old player, big player, a CD player, and lots of CDs, and sometimes we only need 1 or 2 tracks of it. And if we've got a laptop and a speaker, it would save us spending £15 a time on a CD. We could buy an individual track for what, 79.99p, and we wouldn't have to be lugging around 2 great bags of heavy equipment. So that was what we wanted the rest, the other £600 for.
And it's a huge number of ladies that access that dancing group, and they love it.
In fact, we've got not only 60s and 70s, we've got 80s and 90-year-olds who sing and dance still. So it's
A big round of applause to the Young at Heart for our very special award tonight. And thank you, and apologies, we haven't got that